Welcome back to the Better Lives podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin.
And I'm Eric.
And today we'll be talking to you about the debt snowball method.
Now, this one's a little new to me. I kind of got confused with some of different methods, but the snowball method, just kind of give you a brief oversight, recap of that, is it's going to be prioritizing small debts over large debts. So if you have a lot of credit cards out, say you had like 4 or 5 credit cards out with different balances on them, and you want to get those things paid off, you actually start out by finding out which one has the smallest balance, and you make minimum payments on all the other cards and then make larger payments on the smaller balance. This is more for task-oriented people. It kind of gives you like you're accomplishing things. So you want to tackle the smallest balance first. As soon as that one's paid off, then you take whatever you've been paying towards the next one. And then you're actually making the minimum payment plus the actual payment from the previous one. That's where the snowball effect comes in. So you're still paying the same amount out each month, but you're tackling more and more of your debt, and you just keep paying that out, and then start from the smallest all the way to the top. Caitlin, is that correct? Again, I'm kind of new on this one, so help me out with this. Explain it a bit better.
Sure. So like you said, it's you pay the smallest ones first, and you do put all the money you were paying from the first one into the second one. And
that's the important part. Don't ever skip that part. Just because one's done, don't take that and I'm going to spend on something else now. You just keep using it as if that's what you've been paying every month. Make sure you add that to the next one. Sorry.
Yeah. So eventually you'll have all your minimum payments on the biggest, monthly payment at the end, plus whatever else you could afford. So let's say it's $100 a month and you owe $50 to your Apple credit card. You're going to put that total $150 to number 2 once you're done with the first one.
For sure. Yeah, this is just, again, the psychological benefits this is you see things disappear. Instead of having 4 credit cards, you got rid of one, then it goes 3. And it's a lot quicker than tackling the larger balances with larger APRs. It's a little bit different from that because it's more of a psychological benefit. You see it actually happening faster than tackling the larger ones first.
Yeah, so why this works. So you have your early victories, right? That creates a motivation. Whereas with the debt avalanche method, you might take a little bit longer to pay off your first card, especially if you have balances like $5,000, you're paying $200 a month. That's a long time on one card, and it can be really easy to lose motivation. You might give up.
The minimum balancing on credit cards, just so you know, it's basically designed to pay off in like 50 years.
Literally.
I don't know if it's that long. I might be exaggerating a little bit.
It can be.
If you take the minimum, it is just the daily interest in pennies is going towards the actual balance. So even if you implement this method or not, it's always best to pay the minimum balance plus a little bit over.
Oh, for sure.
I always recommend that if you can, obviously. This is just whatever we can afford, whatever we can put down. But for example, with the 4 credit card thing, to kind of just draw it out a little bit better, say you had 4 cards, one with 1,000, one with 2, one with 500, and one with maybe, $700 on it. You start the $500 one, each balance, you have a minimum payment of $50 on each one of them. You pay $50 on all of them, but then you take an extra 100 or an extra 50, whatever you can afford, and apply it towards the smallest balance, which would be the 500. So technically you're spending $250 every month, 50 towards each of your balances, plus an extra 50 towards the lowest one. Once the lowest one's done, you're still paying $250 every month, but you're paying 50 to the third smallest balance plus the extra 100 from the previous one, because you're continuing to pay that 250 towards debt, but you're just compiling it onto the next balance. And that's just a quicker way, again, to start eliminating those processes, but also to actually prepare for that. You know what you're going to be spending each month on those debts, so it's best to just kind of have that set aside to go towards that and just continue to pay towards those until they're all gone.
And there are other options if you don't want to do the debt snowball or the debt avalanche.
Actually, we haven't even talked about the avalanche yet.
Yeah.
That's the one I was confused with. So let's go there first. Debt.
People get kind of stuck on that.
Yeah,
the difference
can
between them. So think of like a snowball rolling down a hill, right? It starts pretty small, and then as it rolls, it gets bigger. The debt avalanche starts huge and wipes everything out, basically. And so you're starting on the biggest card with the highest, likely it's the highest APR and the biggest balance, because usually when you have a bigger balance, you're going to have higher APR. So naturally, it's the cards with the biggest balances too. So you wipe out that first card with the highest APR and then roll that into the second card. This also starts you with higher payments first, because if you have a really high APR, your payments probably also higher. And so the snowball just gives you small wins first, And it builds that motivation down the line.
Yeah, I think the big difference is too is debt avalanche. I think it should be debt glacier because it's not really that fast. It's moving. It's definitely large, but it's a slower moving thing, which is why people choose the debt snowballs because those wins come quicker.
Yeah, and like your emotions play such a huge role in paying off debt, and just seeing those little wins over time can make you stick to the plan.
Small victories keeps you in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the debt avalanche again focuses on the larger debts. So you're not going to get those wins quicker. So if in my recent example, I'd be paying I believe the $2,000 balance off first, and that's going to take a lot longer. Still spending a lot more, but at the end, the bottom dollar, you're spending less money because you're paying off the higher balances first.
Something to keep in mind though is the debt avalanche does save you money mathematically because you are paying off the debt with the highest interest rates first. But in my opinion, paying off debt isn't about math, it's about psychological. So just having those small wins is usually better for most people than saving the money in the end.
Yeah, depending on what your financial goals are or whatever your personal goals are, it depends. Again, it depends on the person. So we just want to give you two options. And again, tackling it, it's eventually you're going to pay that stuff off and maybe even around the same time. But bottom dollar, which one's going to save you the most?
Yeah. So how do you start? This part is pretty daunting for a lot of people. If you have a lot of debt and maybe you're not sure what all you have, you're going to go into your credit report and you're going to write out all of your debt in smallest to biggest and then put the minimum payments right next to them.
That's always the hardest and scariest step. It's like realizing it. It's like, I don't want to know what I got. Ignorance is bliss. Just don't show me that. But it's really super important.
Yeah.
It is the first step's always the most difficult step, as in everything. But Caitlin's right. Get a list of everything and don't lie to yourself. Be honest always.
And if you think that just having one monthly payment might be a better fit for you, so let's say you have 4 credit cards and it's kind of overwhelming having to tackle all those minimum payments, you could consolidate them into a loan or a balance transfer credit card. At Central Alignment, we actually offer a great balance transfer credit card with a pretty good introductory rate. So something to think about.
Yeah, those low interest credit card promos are something definitely that helped me when my younger days get out of some debt. I was, I think I want to say about $12,000 in credit card debts between a few, and I took one of them. Actually, I took 2 of them and put. I got a credit card. I was fortunate enough to have good enough credit to get a $10,000 credit card, and so I put a bunch on there. I think I only put $8,000 on there, but just to keep the debt to income thing down or whatever that is low.
Yeah, the DTI.
And then I just made as much payments as I could. The big benefit of that is there was 0% interest. I did have a 3% interest transfer, like just a transfer fee, but that was like $30 for every 1,000, so it wasn't that much. The amount of interest I saved on that was a big win and helped me pay off that stuff really quick.
Well,
so look into any of those credit card promos if you can, but be responsible as always with those.
Yeah, I mean, the easy thing to do with that when you consolidate your debt is you pay off credit cards and then you have the bigger credit card with the interest rate promo, but then you also go and spend on those credit cards again.
Yeah.
So then you have the $12,000 on the other card and then you rack up debt again. So
don't do that. You gotta definitely
it's really easy to do that.
It's easy to do, and that's why those psychological victories are such a key in finances is whatever works for you. Because again, I mean, the win here is paying things off, not opening up more space to spend. Again, just depends on what you're looking for and what you're looking to accomplish in life.
But side note, once you do pay off a card, don't close it. Keep that open. That helps your credit score. And we'll talk about that in later episodes as well. But
yeah, I need more explanation on that because I've heard that same thing. I was like, what's the point of having 15 credit cards open with nothing? But also not many people have 15 credit cards open. That was just something I did for myself.
I mean, Eric, if you're going to close one, don't close the oldest. That's all I'm going to say.
Is that what it is? All right, we'll get into that later. I need more explanations on that, more Caitlin expertise.
Yeah, and we'll dive deeper into budgeting later episodes as well. So
to recap, Snowball, you start with the smaller debts first. Avalanche, which I think should be changed to debt glacier. You start with the larger balances first, but Avalanche makes it feel like you're getting done faster, but it really is. It seems
saves
slower,
you money, but it
saves
can
you money.
Be slower.
Yeah. It can be slower, but it saves you money in the end. So,
and if that's important to you, then do that.
Which always is. But sometimes, again, I like winning.
But when you're really in debt,
wins.
Psychological wins.
A win is a win, and you need to get them as quick as you can sometimes. But anything else you need to add for that?
I don't think so.
Cool.
Cool.
I think that's it.
Thank you all for joining us today. And remember, paying off debt is possible. Just pick the plan that works the best for you and stick to it, because the plan that is a good one for you is the one you will be consistent with. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Central WCU. We have a podcast forum on our website you can use and send in any suggestions you have or any episode requests, and we'll be sure to address those in later episodes. Join us next time so we can keep building better lives together.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
The information provided here is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any financial decisions.